So in this video, we're going to be testing Martin's postural assessment using his anterior view. So we're first going to check with his ears. Take the cap off. He's going to check if his ears are aligned. Yes, they are. We're going to check his shoulders. Yes, his shoulders are straight and level. Now we're going to be checking your arms just to see if they're both on the same level. And yes, they are. And then I'm not going to check both bones of the hips to see if they are also level. So I'm just going to lift his shirt up a bit and find the top part of his bone. There it is. And it is level. I'm going to be checking now his patella to see if none of them is looking inwards or outwards. So I'm just going to ask you to just close your feet. They're neither showing inwards or outwards, so they are straight. Then we're going to be checking his femur and tibia to see if there's any roundness, which there isn't, which all is fine. And then we're going to check his feet and his toes. There is a bridge underneath his feet, which shows that he is standing normally. So now we're going to be looking at Martin's lateral postural assessment. We're going to be checking. So we're going to be checking if his ears and shoulders are in line. Just ask you to face that way. Check. Yes, perfect. Just to see his ears and shoulders are in line. Just going to check his head. His head is not tilted forward or backwards, which is normal. And then we're going to look for his cervical neck, which is this bend over here. So what we're looking for is for a slight bend, in which there is a slight bend, which means it's normal. And then what we're going to be looking for is his thoracic spine, which over here must bend over inwards. It's a slight bend also, which it does. Perfect. And then we're going to look for his lumbar spine, which is his lower back. We're also going to be looking for a slight curve also, which there is a slight curve on top of that. And the whole back has the S shape that it is looking for. This is part 2 of his lateral view. So we look at his shoulders to see if they're not too rounded and if they're not coming out forward or backwards. So his shoulders are normal and there seems to be no tension, no abnormal tension, which means his shoulders are also normal. Then we're going to be looking at his hips, which we're going to be focusing on PSIS over ASIS. So his PSIS, which is the dimple of the back hip bone, is in line with the ASIS, which is the front part of his hip bone. Just move your shirt up a bit, please. And yes, it is normal, and it will mean that the pelvis is normal. There is not moving too forward or too back. So then we're going to be looking at his knees. There's no inward bending or outward bending, which means they are normal. And then we're going to be looking at his feet, which you can see are normally balanced, which means they're not bending inwards or outwards or in any other abnormal form. So in this video, we're going to be checking his medial borders of his posterior view, in which you're going to be checking the distance between his shoulder blade basically and his spine, in which the spine is over there, the bone is right there. So and now we're just going to be checking if it's even on the other side. So the other side, the bone on the other side is also over here. Over here. This is the spine. I'm just going to cross over, and yes, they are even.